everyone, and welcome to another video on my channel. And this is going to be a very short video here. It's one of those setup videos, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to set up that it's almost like a jungle bass in like a Itende Portamento. When people are playing like a Itende with that Portamento sound on, I'm going to show you how to set up the Portamento on the XPS 10, because the thing about the XPS 10 is that you can actually set up the Portamento on any sound you want, and you can even take off the Portamento on certain sounds if you want to play them without that, and I'll show you how to do that. So what I mean, just to show you, for example, is this sound right here. You see that kind of thing over there? That's what we call a Portamento. So if you're asking yourself, how do you set up the Portamento? I want you to am I blocking? I think me face is blocking what I'm looking for. So just give me a second while I move this guy across from blocking the screen. Right. So it is a bit blurry over there, but then for the purposes of me showing you this, I think this is sufficient. So what we first need to understand is where to find the Portamento settings. So for example, I went and I created this edited sound. So the sound which you're hearing now is not how the sound is normally. If you can see what's written there, which you probably can't, it says R&B bass, right? Because that's the R&B bass, which if you go to the bass and you go to, I think it's 084, sorry, not 04, it's 164, because 163 is jungle bass and 164 is R&B bass 7. So if you listen to how it sounds now, right? This is the original R&B bass. Right? So you can hear how it sounds. But now if you're listening to the version which I saw, just again, this is the original sound. Right? Now listen to the one which I edited now. This is the R&B bass which I edited. Right, you can hear this is the same R&B bass 7, but then obviously I have a personalized one, and what I did to it is that I switched on the Portamento and increased the Portamento timing. So now for demonstration 6, we're going to go back now to that R&B bass 164. So if you go to bass and then you slide all the way to 164, we are going to be on R&B bass 7. You can do it on 163 if you want to do this edit on the jungle bass. For those of you guys who want to edit your jungle bass, that's just going back here to 163. I'm on 164. You're going to click the menu button, this button over here, the menu button. When you click the menu button, you should see it saying system. If you flick the cursor right, it should go to patch edit. Now when you're on patch edit, hit the enter button, and you should see the level of what the volume is over there. When you're on the level, click the cursor right, you should see octave shift. Click the cursor right again, you should see now porter switch. And if you are on 164, the porter switch will be on off. Now to switch it on these value buttons, click the value plus, it will switch it on. Now that the Portamento is on, you are going to be using the Portamento on the default setting. So now it doesn't really sound that much different, right? That's probably because the Portamento timing is probably so low that you can't really hear the difference. Now you're going to click the cursor right again, and you're going to see porter time, and it's set to 10, and that's the reason why you can't hear anything much. Let's increase that to 20. Now that you've increased it to 20, you should hear a difference, right? Now let's increase it to 30, because I think 30 is the setting which I use in church. Oh, I think I use 25. Now I use 30. Yeah, 30. Right, so now that's literally all you need to do to set up your portamento, right? So obviously this thing goes all the way up to 127, but then if you do 127, then it's never going to happen. The portamento is going to take forever to get there, because the higher you increase the portamento timing, the longer it takes. Like for example, I've increased it to 40 now, so you should hear it'll take longer to reach the higher note. You hear? Now I've increased it to 50, you should see it'll take even longer. Right, so you get the gist of it. So now, for example, let's just say I increase it to 70, it'll take way longer to reach there. You see, way longer. So all that we need, the ideal level that I'll say for you guys to set it is around like 28 to 33. That's for me like the sweet spot. That's why I use like 30. It's a sweet spot for me. Right? And that's literally how you go ahead and edit the portamento. And just a last thing, so I've switched it on for this, but I just want to show you that you can literally go ahead and undo portamento. Okay, sorry. Now that you've changed the portamento on this, it'll just be on this edited version, right? But then once you go to a different sound, you're gonna lose your whatever changes you made. So the first thing that you need to do now is hold the shift button, which is the bottom's left button. The shift button, hold it in and then click right. While you're holding in the shift, press the right button, or it's called the menu button, but if you look at what is written underneath it says right, meaning that when you're holding the shift button down, the action which it's going to do is right. So press that and you should see it's asking you what you want to name the patch. I just gave it the same name, R&B 7, because I wasn't really... You can maybe name it R&B bass 1, 2, 3, or ABC, or whatever, so that you know it's your edited version. But the nice thing about it is that if you leave the name as it is and click the enter button again, now they're going to ask you where you want to save it to. I set it to track number 716. I think that's somewhere towards the end, but you literally have a whole bunch of slots for the bass section. So now, whatever patch you're editing, wherever it is, whether it's piano, organ, or whatever, there are different places where you can save it in its specific section. So whenever you're making your custom sounds, you just edit it as you please, and then you click save. And then now when you want to add it to the memory banks, you can add your customized one, so it'll be the one which you choose when you're playing in church rather than the original sound. So you can go ahead and have your portamento, right? So now once you decide obviously to change the different slots you want it to be in, you're going to use the value buttons. So value buttons will, if you go up and down, you can select which slot you want to save it in. Once you've chosen the slot you want to save it in, press enter again and it will save. Obviously I don't want to save, so I'm going to undo that, right? So then last thing now is that if you go to the synth pad section, you'll see that, if you go to the synth pad section, you'll see that most of these sounds have the portamento switched on. So for example, this is the one sound which I use in church the most, which is synth number 097, the modulated lead. Right, so this is the one which I use the most. And but if you notice something, what do I mean by the portamento switches on? If I want to play these two notes, right? If I try to play them together, only one will play, right? But then if I do this, that means the portamento switches on, because you can't play two notes at once. So how you're going to change this now is going to go to the menu again, Now you should already be in patch edit because you've already done an editing of a patch. But if you're not in patch edit, you'll be on system, then just click the cursor right and you'll be on patch edit, click enter. Now you'll see the level, click right, octave, right, portal switch, and you can see that portal switch is on. So now if I switch the portal switch off, meaning the value button left, so now the portamento switch is off now, so it's not doing that wow, wow, right? But as you can hear, it's still only playing one note at a time. And the reason why that is because if you click the cursor right, ignore the portal timing, click it right again, you'll see that the mono and poly is set to mono. So now if you change that from mono, you click the value right to poly, now you see you can play two notes at a time. Right? So now if you like that sound, obviously you can go ahead and save it, but then there might be a certain specific sound that you do like how it sounds as like a mono, and this is one of them, right? You can go ahead and save this into your custom settings the way that I showed you. But as you can see, I literally just turned off the portamento on a sound that originally had the portamento. But I also want to show you that, for example, your electric piano. Right. I just want to show you that even on that, you can switch on the portamento and change it from poly to mono. So for example, we click the menu button, patch edit, and we go to the mono poly, you'll see that it's set to poly, right? Because you're allowed to play many keys. If I change this now to mono, now you can no longer play multiple keys on the electric piano. And then if I go now and change the portamento switch on, so that's literally now you have an electric piano with a portamento on. Which does sound weird, but the whole purpose is I'm just showing you that you can go ahead and turn on the portamento for any sound that you want. So for example, even if it's like an organ, right? This is one organ that I use in church a bit now. Right? Right, so now let's see how this would sound with the portamento switch on and being set to mono. I wonder how portamento would sound if it's set on poly. I think it'll sound bad. Let's just see. So portamento switch on, portamento timing 25. See, it's weird, right? So if you want to switch the portamento on, you need to change it from poly to mono now. You get it, right? So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video here and learned something, and yeah, hopefully it can help you now with whatever you want to do with regards to playing your Itende stuff, now that you know how to set up the bass with the portamento. Till next time, guys, stay blessed.